absolutely love it. I won't lie, as Fridays go, this is a pretty good one. Getting to drive a Sonic Blue P1 Impreza around some twisty, windy roads. It is just, oh, I just love it. It is so good. Welcome back to Future Classics. Now today we're going to take a look at a rally legend, the Subaru Impreza P1. The Subaru Impreza P1 was Subaru UK's answer to the deluge of high-performance grey imports which flooded the market in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Road and rally legends Prodrive were commissioned to cook up this exclusive P1 which was tailor-made to UK buyers and roads. In a way, the P1 was Prodrive's first ever road car, P1 literally meaning Prodrive 1, and this came before the ill-fated P2 which actually never made it into production. All in all, this car sums up the UK's love affair with rallying and Japanese performance cars, so much so that we had our very own special version made, which was especially for UK buyers. Using the STi Type R as a basis, Prodrive developed special suspension settings and also boosted the little 2-litre turbocharged engine to 280 PS. Now there's many telltale signs that this is a P1, namely the P1 stamped into the back box, the lightweight OZ racing wheels, also the 4-piston front brakes and the Recaro sport seats. Now these cars were the only GC Impreza which actually had ABS, which meant that it lost its driver-controlled centre differential. There was only 1,000 of these made and they were all in this unmistakable Sonic Blue. These have become one of the most sought-after variations of the Subaru Impreza, just shy of the rarer JDM cars and obviously the legendary 22B. Values of these cars have skyrocketed over the last few years with well-optioned, well-maintained and low-mileage examples going for well over £70,000.
My name's David and this is my 2000 Subaru Impreza P1. Well, I became the owner of this P1 because I was watching all the rallying and Colin McRae. And I thought, hey, they've made a rally car for the road. So I also needed a family car that was a 4-seater. So this fitted the bill. So I've had the car for 20 years now. I bought it in 2002 and it was my daily driver for about 15 years. The family have grown up with the car. My kids now drive the car. We've been all over with the thing. Done holidays in Wales. We've carted all sorts of stuff. I've had camping trips in it. We've used it a lot. I mean, it's done over 100,000 miles now. We bought it at 17,000, and it's just part of the family. It's a car that really grows on you. It's got the performance, it's got the looks, and it's got the capacity to cart me, my wife, my family, the dog. Everybody goes in it. And my favourite memory of the car is I had to go and pick my son up from a holiday camp in Wales. So I left here about 4 o'clock in the morning, drove over to Wales, had a fantastic drive through the Welsh valleys, picked Nick up, and then we had a very boisterous drive on the way back. The driving experience is really exciting. I mean, it's a very easy car to drive. So you can go down to Tesco's in it. My wife loves it. She's quite happy, pootling around in the thing. But it's just very light on the controls. It's very sure-footed, it's four-wheel drive, so it's not going to catch you out. The power comes on really at the top end, so there's quite a bit of boost on the car, and there's a bit of boost lag, to be honest, compared to modern cars. It's quite a big turbocharger in the car, so there is a bit of lag on it. Well, the particular thing I like about the car is just the look of it. I think it's an absolutely classic look, and the fact that it really kind of resembles a rally car. Colin McRae, Richard Burns, all of those great rally drivers, they drove cars that were built from this kind of thing. And to be able to have something like that for the road and to enjoy some of the performance that those cars had is just fantastic. If somebody asked me if they were thinking about buying a P1, I'd say just do it. I mean, they're a fantastic car. You get a lot of pleasure out of driving it. They're quick, even quick by today's standards. I know it's a 20-year-old car, but actually it's very quick still on the road. And on the B roads, point to point, it's fantastic. I think it is very much a classic already. Yeah, the values of the cars are going up, but I don't keep it for, value. This is very much kept for pleasure, and it's part of the family. I don't think I'd ever sell it, Becky. And this is just a fantastic car. It's something that, I'll be leaving to the kids.
I'll be honest, I've had worse Fridays. Driving the Subaru Impreza P1 is definitely one of those moments where I'm like, finally, I've always wanted to drive this car. As I grew up, this was one of the icons of the time. The late 90s, early 2000s rally scene produced some amazing cars, including this, which was the Prodrive special of the Subaru Impreza P1. Now, when I was younger, I remember seeing one of these cars and asking my dad, like, what is that? Because I remember seeing the color, sonic blue. You know immediately when you see one of these exactly what it is, something that is so iconic and eye-catching. I've just been driving this around some sort of windy country roads here, and it's unbelievable considering that the car itself, it's a 2-litre turbocharged engine, 280 PS. It's actually all in the suspension. All of the magic is in the way this thing drives. It's not necessarily all about the power. The car itself has had so many little tweaks here and there. The suspension has been specifically designed and set up by Prodrive, along with some nice other little bits here and there around the car. You've got the 4-piston brakes at the front. But to be honest, listening to the engine spool up time and time again, I love the gearbox. It's a short shift, but it's notchy, and it just makes the whole driving experience so engaged. In an era now where cars are honestly so digital and, to me, quite numb feeling, to jump into something like this and you can feel like a rally car driver for the day is absolutely magic. This car is so confidence inspiring and also encouraging. All it's been doing all day is encouraging me to absolutely get the RPM needle up over 3,500, let that turbo spool up. The noise itself is completely addictive. It is just so much fun. There's so much grip and also so much feedback through the steering wheel as well. Like, you have a really good idea of exactly where all 4 wheels are on the road. There's so much feedback coming through to the driver. This is just a throwback to when manufacturers really were all about the drive of the car. The fact that Subaru decided that the UK needed their very own version of this car, because there's a few variations, with this one particularly being one of the more sought after. Obviously we know the 22B is there at the top of the tree. It is just, I just love it. It is so good. And these cars actually had ABS, so they had a little bit of an aid, and it got rid of the driver-controlled center differential, which a lot of people weren't too happy about, as it's iconic on the Impreza. But to be honest, I don't think that you lose anything from the driving experience. I've had a big smile painted on my face all day. It's even when you're just looking out over the bonnet, you can see that massive air scoop there, and that's all designed just to try and force as much air into that top mount intercooler. Or if you look into your rear view mirror and you see that wing back there, I honestly feel like I'm in my very own version of the WRC. But that's the whole point of this car. It's designed to make you feel like that. The way it puts the power down is so progressive as well. I love the way it just spools up. It's got a little bit of turbo lag, but come on, the car is like 20 years old at this point. It is of its era, but I don't feel at all like this is not at home right now in the modern day. In the cabin, you've got these comfortable Recaro seats. Everything here is, it's functional. It's not exactly the prettiest, but who cares? That's not what this car is about. For a fact, if you pull up to any car park in the world or drive past any car enthusiast, you're guaranteed to get the thumbs up in one of these because they're just brilliant. And they represent a time when cars were so inextricably linked to motorsport that they were almost exactly what our favorite drivers were driving. Can you believe that? God, I really think I was born in the wrong era. The late 1990s and the early 2000s were just an incredible time. I missed out on all the fun, but at least I can have the fun now. I really want one of these. Well, they say that you should never meet your heroes, and I definitely met mine in the P1 today. What an amazing car to drive. The magic is absolutely in that boxer engine and in the chassis. It is just brilliant. I can imagine David having his family in the back, having so much fun, and it's no wonder he's kept it in the family for over 20 years and why he'll never sell it. I'm very jealous of his daughter that is going to inherit this piece of rally and also automotive history. If you are looking to get one of these yourselves, make sure you do your research, because the engine and also they can be a little bit prone to rust. But other than that, I would absolutely invest in one of these, because they are just a brilliant, brilliant car that make you want to go out and drive. And isn't that the essence of a weekend car and the essence of why we all love this anyway? Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Future Classics. Make sure you join us on the next one, and I'll see you super, super soon.